Over 50,000 publishers are preaching the good news in this branch territory, which includes Equatorial Guinea and Gabon.
Abusing him that he's a psychopath, he's a madman. He's not mad, but he's just a man who has a high sexual drive. And those women have been participating willingly.
Like in their mind, inside, they're desiring this thing.
It seems that humans have an identity problem. Evolutionist Richard Leakey observes, for centuries philosophers have dealt with aspects of humanness, of humanity. But, surprisingly, there is no agreed-upon definition of the quality of humanness. However, the Copenhagen Zoo boldly gave its opinion by way of an exhibit in its primate house. The 1997 Britannica Book of the Year explains, a Danish couple moved into temporary living quarters at the zoo with the intention of reminding visitors of their close kinship to the apes. Reference works give credence to such an alleged close kinship of certain animals with humans. The World Book Encyclopedia, for example, says, human beings, along with apes, lemurs, monkeys, and tarsiers, make up the order of mammals called primates. Yet, the fact is, humans are brimming with unique traits that do not fit the animal mold. Among these are love, conscience, morality, spirituality, justice, mercy, humor, creativity, awareness of time, self-awareness, aesthetic appreciation, concern for the future, the ability to accumulate knowledge over generations, and the hope that death is not the ultimate end of our existence. In an attempt to reconcile these traits with the animal mold, some point to evolutionary psychology, which is an amalgam of evolution, psychology, and social science. Has evolutionary psychology shed light on the puzzle of human nature? What is the purpose of life? The premise of evolutionary psychology is simple, says evolutionist Robert Wright. The human mind, like any other organ, was designed for the purpose of transmitting genes to the next generation. The feelings and thoughts it creates are best understood in these terms. In other words, our whole purpose in life, as dictated by our genes and reflected in the workings of our mind, is to breed. Indeed, much of human nature, according to evolutionary psychology, boils down to ruthless genetic self-interest. The book The Moral Animal says, natural selection wants men to have sex with an endless series of women. According to this evolutionary concept, under certain circumstances immorality for women is also seen as natural. Even parental love is seen as a gene-inspired ploy to ensure the survival of offspring. Thus, one view emphasizes the importance of genetic legacy in making sure that the human family is perpetuated. Some self-help books now ride on the new wave of evolutionary psychology. One of them describes human nature as not very different from chimpanzee nature, gorilla nature, or baboon nature. It also states, when it comes to evolution, it's reproduction that counts. On the other hand, the Bible teaches that God created humans for a purpose beyond simply breeding. We were made in God's image, with the capacity to reflect His attributes, especially love, justice, wisdom, and power. Add the unique traits of humans that were mentioned earlier, and it becomes clear why the Bible sets humans above animals. The Bible, in fact, reveals that God created humans with not only the desire to live forever but also the ability to enjoy the fulfillment of that desire in a righteous new world of God's making. Genesis 1:27, 28, Psalm 37, 9-11, 29, Ecclesiastes 3:11, John 3:16, Revelation 21, 3, 4. What we believe makes a difference. Determining the correct view is far from academic, for what we believe about our origins can affect how we live. The historian H.G. Wells noted the conclusions that many reached after Charles Darwin's Origin of Species was published in 1859. A real demoralization ensued. There was a real loss of faith after 1859. Prevalent peoples at the close of the 19th century believed that they prevailed by virtue of the struggle for existence, in which the strong and cunning get the better of the weak and confiding. Man, they decided, is a social animal like the Indian hunting dog. It seemed right to them that the big dogs of the human pack should bully and subdue. Clearly, it is important that we gain a correct view regarding who we really are. For, as one evolutionist asked, if plain old-fashioned Darwinism sapped the moral strength of Western civilization, What will happen when the new version of evolutionary psychology fully sinks in? Since what we believe regarding our origins affects our fundamental views on life and on right and wrong, it is vital that we take a close look at this whole question. Blurb on page 4. Historian H.G. Wells noted the conclusions that many reached after Charles Darwin's Origin of Species was published in 1859. A real demoralization ensued. There was a real loss of faith after 1859.
It's all one of our times. Baltasar and Engonga.
He's described as a legend by men across the globe.
It looks to me like a blackmail enjoyment.
In his head, he's enjoying himself, he's having fun.
I have damning evidence. I can swipe it out. What I need, send your wife.
And they were all posing for pictures. They were not afraid when they saw the camera. They were even happy. They were smiling, giving us smiles. Yes, and in these same videos, you can clearly see that they were the ones changing positions, really. So when you are talking about, oh, he slept with people's wife, they wanted it.
You are now abusing him that he's a psychopath, he's a madman. He's not mad, but he's just a man who has a high sexual drive. And those women have been participating willingly.
In their mind, inside, they are desiring this thing.